Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reality Hacker for June 14th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 24. I am MayorWatt. I run ohmTown.com, and we're going to talk about these 5 articles. It's a time machine episode. I'll try and get through it really quick. Smart dental implants, haptic feedback trailer for F1, shape changing for visually impaired, wearable multisensory haptics, and AI agents gameplay the real world. All right, everybody. I am bouncing in and out of meetings because, well, as mayor, I've got 1,000 different bosses, and they all want to have meetings with me, typically during a show. So let's get into it. Today's first article is over in Non Sequitur News. Although it's Reality Hacker, many things can fall under the category of hacking reality, and smart dental implants could feel more like the real thing. That's kind of hacking reality, right? Each year, millions of people in the U.S. get dental implants as a long-term natural-looking fix for missing teeth, but traditional implants don't fully mimic real teeth. Researchers recently described the new approach in dental implants that could better replicate how natural teeth feel and function. So their study is posted in Scientific Reports, shows early success with both smart implants and a new, gentler surgical technique, but it's done in rodents. Yeah, rats. Anyway, the article's over at futurity.org. It's posted by Tufts University. I don't know if there's an actual, somewhere in here might be a person, a byline is what it's called, but I've never bit into ice cream like that. That just, if I have, I've done it like really fast because my head would explode. I think that would send pain shooting through my mouth, down my neck, and make me pee a little, I think. I don't know. There's just something about my bottom teeth hitting something freezing cold like that. Just doesn't happen. Anyway, if you are in the chat over on Twitch, you can hit !RH and the ohmTown will spit the articles out in the order that we are discussing them, but not in like a favorite kind of a thing. But we here talk about the news Monday through Friday at around 7 o'clock is when I do the normal Non Sequitur news show. But then on the weekends, we do 3 shows on Saturday, 3 shows on Sunday. My mayoral duties kept me from doing the shows, so I'm doing all of the shows this week, playing catch up, kind of like what happened last week. Unfortunately, been pretty busy doing mayoral stuff, but so in their study, they basically say natural teeth connect to the jawbone through soft tissue, rich in nerves, which help sense pressure and texture and guide how we chew and speak. Implants lack that sensory feedback. I've had a discussion with a dentist about that kind of technology and about that sensation. You don't know. When you have implants, you don't know how hard you're biting into something, and you can actually cause more damage by not being able to gauge that. So it's kind of interesting that so now traditional implants use a titanium post that fuses directly into the jawbone to support a ceramic crown, and the surgery often cuts or damages nerves nearby. And to tie the inert pieces of metal into the body's sensory system, the researchers have developed an implant wrapped in an innovative biodegradable coating, and the coating contains stem cells, and essentially it kind of bonds everything back together. So as the coating dissolves during the healing process, it releases the stem cells and protein, fueling growth of new nerve tissue around the implant. And so you will learn how to interpret the sensations that come from biting down on this implanted tooth. It's pretty neat stuff. Let's keep going though. The next article is over in Technology Today. It's another one of our shows that is typically on Sundays, wedged right in between WarCrafters and FourWheelTech. Well, Apple made a haptic trailer for the F1 movie that only works on iPhones. Long anticipated F1 comes to theaters on June 27th, so a couple of weeks away, 10 days according to the origin time for my time machine. It's actually the 14th today, but I left from the 17th, gone back in time to do this show. So it leverages the smartphone's haptic engine to let people feel the action right in the palm of your hands. Apple promises the viewers will experience the power of the engines, the rumble of the curbs. The rumble of the curbs. Okay. And the intensity of every gear shift like never before with responsive vibrations. Wow. I'm getting all tingly just thinking about it. It's available to stream right now via Apple TV app, but requires iOS 18.4 or later. Not the new 29, I guess, or 28 or whatever the hell it's going to be called. 29, 26, 26. It's going to be called 26. All of the versions are going to be called 26 from now on. Like iOS 26, iPadOS 26, macOS 26. I think every major iteration. So every year it's going to be another. It's going to be 26, then 27, but then interstitial updates will have versioning like 26.4 or that kind of a thing. Pretty cool. So the article is over at Engadget.com. Lawrence Bonk put the article together. The text statement says it lets you feel the action of the film right in your hands. Sure. Is it going to make me look like my face is all pinched in by this helmet? That's one hell of a helmet there. Drive safe, folks. Let's see if they say anything really interesting in this thing. To the end, the company is extremely bullish regarding the film. It's getting the full theatrical treatment along with a nationwide IMAX release, and Apple also featured the movie prominently in its WWDC event and screened it for attendance at the Steve Jobs Theater. I want to see movies at the Sphere in Las Vegas. I haven't seen anything in the Sphere. I've seen the Sphere, but I've never seen anything inside the Sphere. Well, I mean, I've seen stuff on YouTube about it, but I want to go and see inside it and get the full effect. Pretty fascinating graphics that they can pull off there. Kind of mess with your mind. Reality hack. Okay, the next article is over in RealityHacker as well. A shape-changing device helps visually impaired people perform location tasks as well as sighted people in a groundbreaking piece of navigation technology that uses the ability to sense information through touch. It can help people with visual impairment perform a location task as well as sighted people, according to new research. The article is over at ScienceDaily.com. It's actually an older article, but I thought that this one was really interesting. It was submitted to RealityHacker for presentation, and I thought it was really interesting. So researchers from Imperial College London, working with a company Make Sense Technology and the charity Bravo Victor, have developed a shape-changing device called Shape that helps people with visual impairment navigate through haptic perception, the way people understand information about objects through touch. The device looks like a torch, bends to indicate where a person needs to move, and straightens when the user is facing the correct direction. So in a study published in Nature Scientific Reports, researchers tested how well people with visual impairment were able to locate targets in a 3D virtual reality space using shape and haptic feedback, which is commonly used to help visually impaired people navigate. Sighted individuals were also recruited to navigate the targets and in the VR space using only their natural vision. The exciting thing about the study is that they've managed to demonstrate that shape can help people with visual impairment perform a navigation task as well as sighted people, something that we haven't seen before with other navigation devices. Yeah, I think that we basically need to develop a haptic bodysuit that locates a person in three-dimensional space perpetually, and the person train themselves to understand what the feedback means, but it needs greater fidelity, and we need to be able to interpret it that greater fidelity. So somebody can actually kind of ping a room and they know based on the haptics how far a wall is or an object in their immediate space, etc. But we'll get there eventually, and maybe by that time we'll discover a way to replace eyes or something like that. But cyberpunk is quite a few, probably 100 years off. But let's keep going. The next article is over in RealityHacker. Revolutionizing touch, researchers explore the future of wearable multi-sensory haptic technology. You didn't get kind of a feel for this, ironically. The last device had to do with this. Multi-sensory haptic technology, as well as others like the dental implants. That wasn't by intent. It just seems to be a focus of a whole lot of discussion as of late. This here, it says, from virtual reality to rehabilitation and communication, haptic technology has revolutionized the way humans interact with the digital world. While early haptic devices focused on single sensory cues like vibration-based notifications, modern advancements have paved the way for multisensory haptic devices that integrate various forms of touch-based feedback, including vibration, skin stretch, pressure, and temperature. As I was saying, we need more sensors to tap into our sensory ability. This is just some of them. Recently, a team of experts analyzed the current state of wearable multisensory haptic technology, outlining its challenges, advancements, and real-world applications. So again, this is an article over at ScienceDaily.com, and it says haptic feedbacks have been around for a while. They were introduced in the early 60s. But everyone basically has to learn how to utilize these haptic feedback devices, and our technology is growing in no undue part due to AI and scientific advancement, fundamental research, both private and public expenditures there. So true immersion in haptic technology depends not just on what a user feels, but on how naturally and comfortably they experience it. Hence the reason why I said us humans need to learn how to interact with this haptic space. If we so desire, it could actually amplify people who don't necessarily need the haptic technologies, but technology goes way beyond what a human can sense, right? So we can't see in infrared without technology. We can't see or feel micro vibrations that a piece of technology can. We can't see beyond, well, we can't even see in the dark, for crying out loud. There's a whole bunch of stuff that can amplify our senses, interpret it to something that we understand. And this is just one of them. In addition to highlighting challenges, the authors identified several emerging actuation methods that could redefine wearable haptic technology. Electromechanical actuation, they say, remains the most widely adopted method due to its reliability and affordability. That's because we've been doing it the longest. It often struggles to provide a diverse range of haptic cues because it's either off or on and not necessarily a sustained on, and depending on the pressure, it's not necessarily acute enough or have the gamut necessary for us to understand what the haptic feedback might represent. So we have to train on it quite a bit. Fluidic actuation, which utilizes pressurized air or liquid to generate dynamic tactile senses, is gaining traction as we expand our abilities and the technologies for manufacturing lower the cost. It's pretty fascinating stuff that we're moving into. Not to mention things that translate something optical to something physical so that we can actually see something beyond our visual acuity. So the review also offers insights to how wearable haptic technology is poised to unlock new possibilities in human interaction with digital and physical environments. Ready Player One, for instance, a haptic suit that has all of this ability. So much so that a person could be controlled, not so much controlled in a subconscious way, but in a conscious way. If a haptic suit detects something and the suit pulls on your arm by having a stretch haptic pull your arm in one direction, you could feel it and it would draw your attention to whatever might be in that area. If you, for instance, build a haptic sphere around you, and something is detected in your space, a haptic ping on your shoulder could tell you to turn around, or something in between, a pull on your arm and a tap on your shoulder or something like that. The technology can go way beyond where we are as humans. We're pretty frail, even though we're flexible and we can recover from things. Some things are traumatically damaging, but technology can facilitate augmenting us in our shortcomings, or even stave off some catastrophic event by detecting something that we're not necessarily aware to. So additionally, teleoperation and robotics stand to gain significantly as remote-controlled robotic systems with haptic feedback allow users to feel objects from a distance, improving precision in delicate tasks like robotic surgery. So we can see how we can get into a haptic suit and control a robot in multiple dimensions and get feedback from that remote location. So I think this is all pretty amazing technology if used for good. And that's a whole sociological argument and discussion that we can, and when I say argument, I mean discussion. Anyway, we can have that later. The next and our final article for RealityHacker today is over in RealityHacker. A deep learning alternative can help AI agents gameplay the real world. A new machine learning approach tries to emulate the human brain in hopes of creating a more capable agentic AI. The article is by Will Knight over at wired.com. And it says a new learning machine. So let's see. The new system called Axiom offers an alternative to the artificial neural networks that are dominant in modern AI. Axiom developed a software company, or is called by a software company versus AI. It's equipped with prior knowledge about the way objects physically interact with each other in the game world. It then uses an algorithm to model how it expects the game to act in response to input, which is updated based on what it observes, a process dubbed active inference. So the approach draws inspiration from the free energy principle, a theory that seeks to explain intelligence using principles drawn from math, science, and information theory, as well as biology. The free energy principle is developed by Carl Friston, a renowned neuroscientist who is chief scientist at cognitive computing company Versus, hence Versus AI, hence Axiom. So at any rate, the conventional approach to learning to play games involves training neural networks through what is known as deep reinforcement learning. Basically, as they move further past a particular goal towards a particular goal, they do course corrections, but it takes countless trials and attempts. Humans don't learn the same way. We seem to acquire knowledge a whole lot quicker. We won't sit there and burn our hand again and again and again, trying to figure out how long we can burn our hand, even if the objective is to burn our hand, right? And so we have certain senses and certain mechanics in our brain, like survival traits, that technology just doesn't understand, doesn't comprehend, doesn't have. And so it will sit there and charge into a burning building over and over again to see if it can walk through the burning building, whereas we learn that it's not possible. But this deep reinforcement learning basically says keep trying, and make minor or major tweaks to see which ones actually help you succeed in the objective. The general goal of their approach is some of its key features track with what they see in the most important, or as the most important problems to focus on to get AGI, or artificial general intelligence, nearly sentient AI, is apparently what the objective is. I don't think that we should. Sentience requires emotion. It needs to have empathy, sympathy, compassion. It can't be a sociopath. It can't be a psychopath. And technology it has no feelings. It has no understanding of the human condition other than how we iterate it and reinforce it. And even then, it's nothing more than a programmatic hurdle to get over, as the military found out when they trialed a drone test to go and delete a target. And when they countermanded that initial command, it flew back to the base, deleted the commanders, and then went back and deleted the target. So, yeah. If an AI, and there's no way to program that out, I don't think, because an AI will eventually figure out a workaround. That's what it does. Modern AI relies on artificial neural networks that are roughly inspired by the wiring of the brain, but work in a fundamentally different way. And over the past decade, And a bit, they say in the article, deep learning as an approach that uses neural networks has enabled computers to do all sorts of impressive things, including transcribe speech, recognize faces, generate images. Most recently, of course, deep learning has led to the large language models like OpenAI and so on. Somewhat ironically, given that Axiom offers an alternative to modern AI and deep learning, the free energy principle was originally influenced by the work of British Canadian computer scientist Geoffrey Hinton, who was awarded both the Turing Award and the Nobel Prize for his pioneering work on deep learning. Interesting. Oh, well, that's it, though. So we are going to reboot the time machine. That's going to pull me out of RealityHacker, but I'm going to try and reset as quickly as possible and do the Wanted show as well. I'm going to actually try to do Wanted and the Continuity Report. That normally becomes the Saturday edition of Non Sequitur News. And then I'm going to immediately reset again and do WarCrafters, TechnologyToday, and FourWheelTech, and try and get those done today. And then after that, maybe be able to do the Non Sequitur News for Monday. That means Monday is the 16th. So I'm several days behind because of mayoral duties. So anyway, that's it for RealityHacker. We'll reset real quick and be out of here. Bye. Hello and welcome to Wanted for June 14th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 24. I am MayorWatt, and we're going to talk about these 5 articles. The first one is indoor pizza ovens, and then Snap AR glasses, old new edifiers, new from CES, and the best damn gaming mouse. It's subjective, but we're going to talk about it on the other side of this. Hello. I am MayorWatt. I run ohmTown.com, and this is a time machine episode for June 14th because I'm kind of getting pulled in a whole bunch of different directions during the weekends, and I have to do some campaigning and mayoral activities, we'll call them. But that doesn't stop me from wanting to put together a great website over at ohmTown.com, podcasts that you can search for. Just search for ohmTown using whatever podcatcher you use. There's a Discord, the website, of course, ohmTown.com, that does all of the news aggregation. And the first article that we're going to talk about is over in the mobile channel. This indoor pizza oven is the perfect Father's Day gift, and it's $270 off, but this is a time machine episode, so it might just be the perfect indoor pizza oven, and that's why I'm keeping it for the show. The show had already been prepped and ready to go, but I couldn't do it, so we're going to run through this. Considering it's time machine episode, it's new for everybody, right? Right? That's how time stuff works. Anyway, Matt Janser over at Vice.com put this article together, and it says, as easy as pie, so goes the saying, pizza pie, specifically in this case. For the unprepared, Father's Day approaches like an iceberg towards the Titanic. Is it time to panic? Not yet. Yes, it is, because this is a time machine episode, so I had to actually link the singularities of our time machine so that I can go back in time to the 14th to do this show before the 15th, even though my launch time is the 17th. I know, I'm a horrible mayor. So Uni is known for its outdoor pizza ovens, but look what's going on here. It's an indoor pizza oven. Indoor pizza option, Univolt, plugs right into a wall outlet and sits on a counter or table. And because it uses electricity to cook up those pizzas, it's not spitting copious amounts of smoke like a wood-fired pizza oven. Better yet, it's $270 off, making it $630 as long as the sale lasts. I don't know if it will. We'll see. You can buy it at Amazon. You can buy it at Uni at $630. Even better, you can eat the results of your generosity. It's the best It's okay. So I have an Uni outdoor oven. I would rather have this. Um, I prefer nowadays not using gas. I prefer not using like charcoal. I prefer not using wood. I prefer using electricity. If the oven can get hot enough to actually do the same uni pizzas, then I'll probably end up getting this. So no wood, no fuss, no gas, no nothing. My other one is a gas. Given that pizza aficionados insist that everything's wood fired for pizza, Uni has had to fight off some skepticism, but when it comes to their countertop electric pizza oven, it takes just 20 minutes to reach 850 degrees Fahrenheit. Says that's impressive, given that their home oven takes damn near that long to get half as hot. Yep, I agree. At 850 degrees is hot enough to cook a pizza on the included baking stone in just 90 seconds. Now, tell me that turning on the volt and cooking up a pizza isn't quicker than dashing out to pick up pizzas from the store. Well, you have to wait an hour and a half to get up to the run time of a minute and a half. So, let's see. 20 minutes. Sorry, you have to wait 20 minutes, and then you have a minute and a half to bake your pie. So, I'm game for this. I would rather do this than have to worry about gas or have to worry about charcoal and all the other accoutrement associated with it, the smoke, etc. And you can do it inside. This just makes sense to me. And I have no qualms about, is it better this way or that way? I guarantee you they wouldn't be putting out a pizza oven if it wasn't good. Because I really dig Uni's quality. I actually have a box of their dough still in my freezer, so I got to go and I should probably be making some pizzas. All right. Well, anyway, there you go, folks. Go and check it out. Oh, and if you want today's show notes over on, hold on a second. I think it's want over on Twitch, then you can hit !want, ! want. All right, let's keep going though. Snap plans to sell lightweight consumer AR glasses in 2026. Snap is back with a new pair of AR smart glasses, and for the first time in years is ready to sell them to consumers. The company plans to sell these new glasses called Specs to consumers starting in 2026. CEO Evan Spiegel announced on Tuesday during the Augmented World Expo in Long Beach, California. I wish I could have made it to that. Maxwell Zeff over at TechCrunch.com put this article together. The Specs will feature see-through lenses capable of displaying graphics to users as if they were projected onto the world in front of them. The glasses will also feature an AI assistant powered by Snap's technology, capable of processing both audio and video. The announcement comes nearly a decade after Snap first attempted to sell consumer smart glasses with the initial launch of Spectacles in 2016, and the product that ended up selling poorly. While Snap was ahead of its time, then the company now faces fierce competition in the AR market from giants like Meta and Google. I've got X-Real glasses ordered. I have yet to cancel that order, but it really depends if I'm going to get them. I would really like to get them sooner than later. So if anybody has them, I'll buy XR1 Real, the large ones. Anyway, because the ID, the interpupillary distance, IPD. Anyway, Meta reportedly plans to unveil glasses with a built-in screen codenamed Hypernova later in 2025. Google recently announced partnerships with Warby Parker, Samsung, and other companies to develop an Android XR smart glasses. Snap is hoping its Snap OS developer ecosystem, which the company has spent the last several years building out, will give it an edge in the AR space, but I think they're chasing after something that just doesn't have a big enough market. Unless the glasses are, all of the glasses are always these big ass ugly things. Ray-Ban, Meta, while they have early success, it's a one-way trip, really. It's not really augmented so much as it's seeing something and then giving you information. It's not the same thing. Snap may have to turn their AR glasses from something novel into a practical device, but I think that there's so much competition out there that it's going to be balkanized to the point where, unfortunately, it's only going to be big businesses that are going to do it. And I don't think that Snap really steps up, but we'll see. I'm excited to see some real AR technology. And I have a particular interest because I want to run a piece of software so that a camera like the X-Real camera, it's a little camera that sits right in the little niche where the nose, what do you call those damn things? Anyway, right here on the bridge of your nose, there's a camera that sits there. It's an attachment to the X-Real 1 Pros and maybe the X-Real 1s. Anyway, it's a camera that actually interacts with the AR space so that you can do more with it. And I'm waiting for that to be released as well so I can buy that. Anyway, Snap plans to sell lightweight consumer AR glasses in 2026, but no pictures of them in this article. Let's keep going. The next article is over in the mobile channel. Retro looks, modern guts, edifiers, speakers tick all the boxes, and I've got a pair of those sitting here. Why is it that we clearly have the technological edge in our present day? So many devices, golden ages of aesthetics, are in the past because people want to spend. People want to manufacture something where people spend money, but it's on the profit margin, not on the quality necessarily, and not on the aesthetics necessarily. You have to pay more to get the aesthetic, and it becomes a luxury instead of just something. I mean, everybody needs speakers for their computer because monitor speakers suck. So anyway, while a case could be made for the laptop and cell phone as living through their own golden ages as a rare exception among personal electronics, there's no modern day equipment that looks as so handsome or as handsome as stereos did in the past, save those purposely mimicking the old days. Correct. So these actually look like old amplifiers. What are the amplifiers? The guitars. Damn it, my brain. Well, while a case can be made for the laptop and cell phone, these are Edifier ES60 Bluetooth speakers, ES20 Bluetooth speaker. These look like satellite speakers. Edifier just launched 3 new speakers and a pair of headphones, all harkening back to a past age. Is it Wilson? Hold on. Fender. No. Marshall. They look like Marshall. They have a very Marshall-like aesthetic to them. Yeah, for sure, Marshall. So a symbol of Edifier's evolving vision. The ES is the series name, carries layered meaning. The doe-eyed press release Edifier posted on June 11th. E is for elegant, capturing the series' sleek, modern design. S for superb, representing the elevated quality, premium materials, and refined finish. Luxurious, seems awfully wedged in there. Okay. As ES is Edifier sound, reflecting Edifier's legacy of high performance audio and immersive listening experiences. They don't say what the price is on this thing. They just say buy now. So when they max that price, it always spooks me. So there are 4 new ES series speakers available now. ES20, ES60, ES300, and the ES850NB. They're over-the-ear headphones. Feature active noise cancellation that can lower heard noise by up to 45 decibels while squeaking out up to 92 hours of battery life, which is frankly incredible. I would love to use something like that in the range. That would be great. Anyway, there you go, folks. Retro looks, modern guts, Edifier's speakers tick all the boxes. Let's keep going. The next article is over in RealityHacker. An exclusive look at Infinite Machines Alto electric bike. The startup wants to cut through the commuter e-bike market. I merged e-bike and market with a $3,500 sit-down electric scooter that can still ride in city bike lanes. The article is over at wired.com by Julian Chikaru. The startup wants to cut through the commuter e-bike market with a $3,500 e-bike sit-down scooter, actually. Interesting. So the P1 was always going to be a niche product. America doesn't have the scooter culture found in many other countries, and potential riders of the original $10,000 Vespa-inspired vehicle need a motorcycle license. That puts a limit on your growth as a burgeoning company. That's where the Alto, OLTO comes in. Designed in a little over a year, the Alto is meant to be a mass market electric bike that doesn't look like any e-bike that came before. It can carry 2 passengers, can reverse, and has a footrest that can transform into pedals, all designed to ride on the e-bike lane. That's what it looks like. A mix of steel and aluminum results in an e-bike with clean lines, curvy edges, something the company hopes will not draw so many Cybertruck parallels as this in this particular climate. I'm not going to say whatever. I don't know why they pull that in there. But anyway, it comes in silver and black, is weatherproof, and is meant to be parked outside on the curb. That thing would get stolen in a heartbeat in a city. It comes in silver and black, so you can probably skin this, wrap this with stuff as well. It looks like it's built for being a advertisement vehicle. Just bring it in, charge when it needs juice. It takes about 5.5 hours with the included charger, or 3 hours with a fast charger. Otherwise, you can leave it in, or I guess it says otherwise you can leave it in. It has a boost switch. Let's see, the steering and motor also lock up, so it'd take considerable effort to move the nearly 200-pound e-bike. Much of it is powered by a secondary battery, which will keep running for 30 days. If you've removed the primary battery from the Alto, so if you're still wary, there's a spot to attach a U-lock on the kickstand. So they say that they've got a bunch of accessories, from a phone mount to a rear rack and child or kid carrier, that you can configure with the Alto when you're placing your order. There's going to be third-party accessories like mounts for a bottle cage or under the seat or something like that. So you can pedal or you can throttle. It has what looks like a place to put your either stuff when you put your feet on pedals, or you can put your feet in there, I guess. I don't know. That one's interesting. I don't know where you put your feet if you're the back seat rider, though. Huh. So it's got a twist throttle and R for reverse, a boost button for a little more oomph if the motor can handle it. Alto's made in 3 modes, Class 2, Class 3, and off-road, and you'll have to choose the type based on local speed laws for bike lanes. In Class 2, you can go up to 20 miles per hour and have full access to the throttle. In Class 3, you can only use the pedal assist function, but the top speed jumps to 28 miles per hour. And in off-road, you get the full power, and Alto can ride as fast as 33 miles per hour. You may see localized settings for these modes based on the laws of the region you're in. Jeez. Anyway. Yeah, Infinite Machine may go the way of Dutch e-bike brand Van Moof. The company has a sizable investor list, with most funds hailing from Andreessen Horowitz American Dynamism Fund, along with the angel investors will.i.am and Letitia Wright. Well, there you go. There's a whole lot more in this article. Go and check it out. And our last article for Wanted is over in Technology Today. The best gaming mouse in 2025. No gaming mouse will magically stop you from getting destroyed in Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, but the right pick can give you a greater sense of control and making your downtime more comfortable. In truth, which one is best comes down to preference. So let's go over to Engadget, where Jeff Dunn put this article together with a whole bunch of mice, leaving off the vertical mouse from Razer. Not sure about this. So the best wireless gaming mouse, it says symmetrical, is the Razer Viper V3 Pro. I just got the vertical mouse. I've got it on its way. I'm hoping that I really like it, because it's going to suck if it sucks. I actually use a trackball, but trackballs leave your wrist flat like that when you should be like that. I've never really had a problem with it, but as of late, maybe things are catching up with me. I don't know. Razer's all over this list, though, of their best in breed gaming mouse for 2025. So picks for your FPS, MMO, and general playing needs. You really shouldn't need 3 different mice. After playing countless hours of CS2, Overwatch 2, Halo Infinite 2, Final Fantasy 14-2, and more PC games too, here are their picks for the best gaming mouse that you can buy, broken down by shape and use case. But not kidding, they talk about Razer Viper V3, Hitscan Hyperlight, another good option they say, best wireless gaming mouse for ergonomics, Razer DeathAdder V3 Pro. Another good option is the Razer DeathAdder V3 Hyperspeed. The best wired gaming mouse is the Endgame Gear OP1 8K. That's the sample rate, basically. So how fast it'll respond to any movement. Razer Basilisk V3 is the best wired gaming mouse ergonomic. An honorable mention goes to the Pulsar X2 Crazy Light, and it looks like it's lime green and blue. That hurts my brain a little. And then finally, the honorable mention for the Pulsar X Lite V3, which is at $100. So I think the cheapest one here is this $40 Razer Basilisk V3. All right, well, I want a new mouse, and I probably, it really depends. I don't like Razer because of their software, but I'm actually getting a Razer, not because of their software, because I want to try out this new ergonomic design. It's vertical, right? So you slide around like that instead of like that. But I have a feeling I'm just going to trust my trackballs. And the one that I use is the Deft Pro, which, unless you modify it, the bearings inside it that suspend the ball suck. They need to switch to ceramic instead of these ruby. These ruby bearings are not, they're really tiny spheres, but they create a friction on this ball. Either make the ball harder so that it moves easier, or in fact, I would rather you do both. Make the ball harder and use ceramic bearings instead of these ruby ones, synthetic ruby ones. There's too much friction and they stick periodically. So by default, the main clicks are on the stiffer side, but fast to actuate and noticeably crisp. And you can actually set these switches to use a speed mode that reduces click latency. And they're talking about the best wired gaming mouse, the Endgame Gear OP1 8K. And I might get this because of that fast polling rate. It has 6 programmable buttons, comes in at a whopping $85 at Amazon. But I also prefer perhaps getting something like, well, man, if it wasn't for the stupid software of the Razer, I'd be cool with the Razer. But anyway, it always bogs down my systems. All right, well, let's just get out of here. We'll unplug the mouse, and that'll bring us back to the front page of Wanted over at ohmTown.com. This isn't Wanted. Nope, this is Wanted. Anyway, go and check out ohmTown.com and Wanted. There are 6 main categories and 50 channels underneath it, 7 of which have been turned into a show and or podcast. Looking to expand to about 5 more, but with my other projects going on, it's getting really rough to launch new shows. If you are interested in hosting or co-hosting an ohmTown show topic, get in touch. Send an email to mayor@ohmTown.com. See you in a little bit. Bye-bye, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Continuity Report for June 14th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 24. I am MayorWatt. I'm sitting in the time machine making up for the 6 episodes that we missed on the weekend, and I'll try and get to tomorrow's as well, which is today's the 14th in the time machine, then the 15th and the 16th. So my launch time is the 17th. I know. It makes sense once you have to think about it really hard. And it hurts my brain to think. Anyway, I run ohmTown.com, a bunch of other stuff, and being Mayor drags me away from time to time. But today we're going to be talking about Presumed Innocent, The Woman in the Yard, Mr. Miracle animated show, Pixar kitty hit, and Avatar meets Mission Impossible. Everything's powered by ohmTown.com. 6 main categories, 50 channels, 7 of which have been turned into a podcast and a live show here on Twitch and on YouTube. The long-term storage is over on YouTube because Twitch deletes everything after 60 days. Anyway, I'll see you on the other side because everything is powered by... All right, welcome back. I am MayorWatt. Let's get into it. The first article... Well, let's do this. This is the front page of ohmTown at the end of June 14th. This is the front page of the Continuity Report, which is the landing page for this show. In there are all kinds of articles, headlines, from across the internets around the world, gets thrown in here, and then we talk about them here on the show, the Continuity Report. The first article is about Presumed Innocent. Presumed Innocent Season 2 will replace Jake Gyllenhaal with a new lead star. Last summer, Presumed Innocent became a big hit for Apple TV Plus and was intended to be a limited series, but got a Season 2 pickup, and now Apple's announced a plan for replacing Jake Gyllenhaal in the new season. Ryan Christoffel over at 9to5mac.com put the article together, and it basically says here that Brosnan is best known for her starring role in Prime Video's The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which hailed from the creators of Gilmore Girls, and she will be seen as Lois Lane in the this summer's Superman reboot from director James Gunn. Rachel Brosnan will lead Presumed Innocent Season 2. That's what Apple TV's Twitter account announced today. Interesting. It's a legal thriller to be headed by Rachel Brosnan. And let's see here. It'll be based on the book Dissection of a Murder by Joe Murray, as the show adopts a new anthology approach with each season focused on new sets of characters. And here's the summary of the book. While Layla Reynolds is handed her first murder case, she's shocked at how high profile it is, the murder of a well-respected, well-known judge. This shouldn't be the kind of case she's dealing with. It's way beyond her expertise, but the defendant, Jack Millman, is clear. He wants her, and only her. Dun, dun. Okay, moving on. The next article is over in the Continuity Report. The Woman in the Yard Peacock release set a date for Daniel Deadweiler's horror movie. Following its home video release, Universal Pictures has finally announced that Peacock release date, The Woman in the Yard, the upcoming global streaming debut of Blumhouse's newest supernatural horror thriller. Since its debut, the movie has received mixed views from critics. It currently holds a tomato meter rating of 40 on Rotten Tomatoes based on 57 reviews. The fact that there's only 57 reviews seems kind of sad. Aw, sad panda. If you want today's show notes and you're over on the Twitch stream, you just hit the continuity !TCR, the Continuity Report. I just realized that I haven't been putting them into the show notes over on YouTube. I'll make up for that after the fact. Sorry, folks. Can't do it live, but I usually put all of today's shows, which is Saturday the 14th, in the show notes for each show that we do. And then Sundays is all 3 are in the same show notes kind of format. I don't know. I guess my brain is falling out of my head today. Well, anyway, in the reviews of The Woman in the Yard, even though the movie didn't catch most critics or audience's attention, they still gave the film a good rating because ComingSoon.net reviewed it. Maggie Delapaz put the article together. So when is Woman in the Yard Peacock release date? It's June 27th, exclusively on Peacock. The movie stars a bunch of people. I'm just going to say that. Go and check it out. It was directed by Wamkale Sarah from Black Adam and Jungle Cruise, from a screenplay written by Sam Stefanak. It was produced by Jason Blum and Stephanie Allen, with Deadweiler, Colette Sarah, Gabriel Ebron, Scott Greenberg, James Moran serving as executive producers. An otherworldly woman sends a family into a seemingly inescapable nightmare. Already grieving the death of her husband, Ramona faces a new fear when this mysterious figure appears outside her farmhouse. With the women continually creeping closer, Ramona must protect her children from the chilling grasp of this haunting entity whose unknown intentions are anything but peaceful. But they're unknown. How do you know? How do you know? Let's move on. Next article is over in Non Sequitur News. A Mr. Miracle animated show is in the works at DC Studios. During its presentation at this year's Annecy Film Festival, DC Studios announced it's producing an adult animated Mr. Miracle series that will showrun and executive produced by comics writer Tom King, based on King and Mitch Gerard's 2017 Mr. Miracle comic series. The new show will center famed escape artist scot-free Mr. Miracle as he sets out to pull off his greatest stunt, escaping death itself. The article is over at TheVerge.com. Charles Pulliam Moore put the article together. Tom King is set to showrun and executive produce the show, which is based on his 2017 comics series. Let's see. Per the studio's logline, things start to go horribly wrong with the perfect life that Scott and his warrior wife, Big Barda, have built for themselves on Earth. And as Gizmodo points out, the thing in question is actually a brutal war between the far-off, hell-like planets Apocalypse and New Genesis, where Scott and Barda were raised to become vicious warriors. Dun, dun, dun. So there's no word yet on any casting details or when we might see Mr. Miracle show, but the Mr. Miracle series actually makes quite a bit of sense for the studio right now when you consider how largely the character Darkseid features in Scott's lore and the fact that there's a live-action Superman film right around the corner. Let's keep moving. The next article is over on the Wanted channel. Pixar is channeling the kiddie hit Flow for its 2027 release. Gatto from Luca director Enrico Casarosa follows an Italian cat and is coming summer 2027. Oh gosh, it's 2 years away. It's over 2 years away, for crying out loud. Jermaine Lucier over at Gizmodo.com put the article together. Yeah, just announced at the Annecy International Animation Film Festival, Pixar's 2027 film is called Gatto, directed by Luca Helmer, Enrico Casarosa. The film is set in Venice, Italy, and follows a black cat named Nero, who, after years of maneuvering the canal-ridden superstitious Stiddy, begins to question whether he lived the right life. Indebted to a local feline mob boss, Nero finds himself in a quandary and is forced to forge a truly unexpected friendship that may finally lead him to his purpose, unless Venice gets the better of him first. Sounds great, right? And because it's Pixar, it'll probably be, because Pixar movies are usually great because they take so long to make. So there's a very good chance that Gatto was in development long before November of last year, and still will be in development until summer of 2027. Let's keep going. The next article is over in the Continuity Report. Pixar's new movie is like Avatar meets Mission Impossible with first footage. Pixar's new movie, Hoppers, is like Avatar meets Mission Impossible with the first footage being revealed, directed by Daniel Chong. The movie is one of many in the way of Pixar, including Alio, Toy Story 5, and recently announced Gatto, which I just talked about. What will be Pixar's 30th Animated movie. Hopper's release date is scheduled for March 2026. The film follows Mabel, a girl who uses technology that hops human consciousness into lifelike robotic animals. All right. Adam Bentz over at ScreenRant.com put the article together. So what happens next is a little like Avatar meets Mission Impossible meets Planet Earth. It's an action-adventure comedy spy thriller where humor, the heart, and the adventure leap from the screen in surprising ways. It's an over-the-top crowd pleaser, full of twists and big laughs and tons of great characters. We are in the last months of finishing the movie. Can't wait for you to see it very soon. At the festival, the first footage from Hoppers was also revealed, showing Mabel hopping into a beaver a la Avatar and trying to recruit another beaver to protest the building of a highway within nature. Okay. The beaver she encounters is quite lazy and is caught by a bear. The lazy beaver reacts unbothered at the fact that he's about to be eaten because those are the rules of nature. Mabel saves the beaver regardless. Don't spoil it. Anyway, what it means for Hoppers. Everything that was revealed about Hopper's the new movie centers around Mabel. Mabel uses technology to embody a beaver, amongst other things. And I guess they're going to be doing some Mission Impossible style adventures. But it's still an intriguing tease nonetheless. Yes, I agree. Again, Adam Bentz over at ScreenRant.com wrote the article. Go and check out this article and be sure to check out Hoppers, which is really funny because I just got done watching I'm actually in the middle of watching not a trailer, kind of a documentary kind of a thing. The Very Messy History of Sliders is what it is over on YouTube by Secret Galaxy. Anyway, that's it. We're going to hop our way right back to the front page of ohmTown. Just to let you know, that's where all the news and no noise is aggregated. If you're interested in just the continuity report, you can actually search for it. So where is it? Right under food, drink, and entertainment, right there, continuity report. That's the name of this show, and that's where a lot of entertainment news is aggregated. Some stuff we pull from other channels, but that's because they have some type of entertainment tilt to them, but are more appropriately attached to whatever channel they're attached to. Anyway, we've got 50 channels, 7 of which have been turned into a podcast, and a live stream and VOD over on YouTube, although they were here at one point on Twitch as well, because after 60 days, Twitch deletes them. So you got to go over to YouTube. 2,000 plus 2,300, I think, episodes of our shows are live there. Go and check them all out. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.